I want to make this brief because, in my opinion, this is the worst episode of Season 9 so far, beating out Uprooted as the bottom of the barrel. It's an episode full of wasted potential, really. The only thing I can honestly say I liked was seeing Scootaloo's aunts for the first time on the show proper, and the whole end bit with the ceremony that I'll get into in a little bit. As for Scootaloo's aunts, I like them. But we have met them before in the Ponyville Mysteries books, so it's nothing really new or special. And also, I want to add here that, yes, the books are canon. They're canon, goddammit. What I really and reluctantly want to focus on, though, is just how poorly handled this entire episode was. Starting with the worst part of the episode, Scootaloo's parents. It's a shame that these characters who were hinted at for years suddenly turned up in this episode and were treated as mere plot devices instead of actual characters. Apart from ruining the mystery that didn't really need to be revealed, Scoot's parents only exist in this narrative to be the ignorant roadblock that Scoots has to get over. They're not even on screen long enough to actually develop as actual characters. In the little screen time they do get, they spend it being oblivious towards the problem they're creating and further the antagonizing of Scootaloo. Scoot's parents are basically the antagonists of this episode, which is unfortunate. To be fair to the show, however, this could be an allegory of poor parenting and how sometimes parents aren't all they're cracked up to be, or that sometimes parents are often unwilling to take the feelings of their kids into consideration when making drastic decisions. It could also be the writers trying to subvert our expectations with characters that we've been theorizing about and have been wanting to see for years suddenly popping up and being complete anti-characters. It seems to me that Scoot's parents were only introduced because they had to just get it over with before the finale. Just another thing checked off the checklist. That goes for a lot of things this season, unfortunately. I hate to speak ill of the show, but this episode was just not good. The plot was contrived, Scoot's parents were used as a plot device and nothing more, and it was all just a big hot mess. I could go on for hours about all the problems in this episode, but I genuinely don't like to rant, so I'm just gonna refrain from doing that. I do want to end by saying that if there's one thing that could possibly redeem this episode, it would be the ending bit where the town is celebrating the CMC's accomplishments. It's such a great scene. It really makes me sick knowing it's part of the resolution to such a horrendous episode, but I digress. The mayor's whole speech and the fact that everyone the CMC have helped over the years are in attendance really makes the scene emotionally resonant, and it feels like the CMC arc of the show is given some bit of closure. Also, hearing that CMC A-Team jingle closing the episode was a really great touch. Apart from the horrible episode preceding this scene, I'd be happy to have the CMC arc end here. I think it really brings it all to a nice and somewhat satisfying close. Was my statement earlier about this episode being the worst of the season a bit hyperbolic? Yes. From an objective viewpoint, I still think Uprooted is the worst episode of Season 9, but subjectively, in my own personal opinion, I think this episode is the worst. The mistreatment of Scootaloo's parents' introduction to the show and the wasted potential of their characters really gets to me. But regardless, I still really like the end bit. Anyway, I tried to make this rant as short as possible because, again, I don't like speaking ill of the show. So with all that out of the way, thanks for watching, have a great day. Ponyville is a village.